Excellent. So what we want to do in this demo is create a service connection in Azure DevOps that allows Azure DevOps to talk to Azure proper. To do that, we need a few key bits of connection information from Azure, so we're going to collect that information now. To get started, let's navigate to the list of subscriptions. To do that, let's use the search bar at the top of the screen and search for subscriptions. And then choose the subscriptions option. Good. Now, when Azure DevOps is accessing Azure, it's always going to do that with the context of a subscription. So what we need from the subscriptions page here is the name and ID of the subscription that we want Azure DevOps to interact with when it's deploying software. So I'm going to copy the name and ID of my pay-as-you-go subscription to Notepad. Excellent. Now the next thing we need is a service principal that has access to that subscription. So next, let's navigate to the Azure Active Directory service. To do that, let's use the search bar again and search for Active Directory. And then choose the Active Directory option. Okay. So now we're seeing information about our tenant. In fact, we need a piece of information even from this page. So let's collect the tenant ID value from the middle of the screen. And we'll put that in Notepad as well. Good. Now we need to create an identity that will have access to our subscription. So let's click on the App Registrations option in the left-hand menu. Good. Now let's create a registration. Let's click on the New Registration button in the toolbar at the top of the page. Perfect. Now what we're doing here is we're creating an identity that Azure DevOps can use to talk to our subscription. So let's give our app registration a name. In the name field, let's give a name that reflects what we're doing. Let's call our app DevOps Service Connection. Good. Now we're going to leave all the rest of the defaults alone and click on the Register button at the bottom of the screen. Perfect. Now we have an identity that we can use. Well, almost. First, let's copy a piece of information that we need. Let's copy the application client ID value from the middle of the screen and paste that into Notepad for later. Good. Now, as you know, users always need a username and password to sign into something. Well, the same is true even for an application registration. In the app registration world, that password is called a secret. So let's go generate. In the left-hand menu, let's click on the Certificates and Secrets option. Great. Now in the center of the page, let's click on the New Client Secret button. Good. Now in the Add a Client Secret card on the right, let's choose a description for our secret. I'm going to call mine SB Demo 2022. Now the next field is asking us for an expiry date, and that's a good thing for you to understand. Your secret should expire, and you should have a rotation strategy for your keys. Now, since this demo won't last long, I'm going to leave the default at 6 months and just click Add at the bottom of the card.